Hi everyone, and welcome back to the next diecast. In today's video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing this set of two 1/24th scale cars I got made by Maisto. So I found this Plymouth Prowler and Plymouth Grand Voyager set on eBay, and I only paid $10 for it. I think in total with shipping and everything, it was just under $20, and I think for that price, it was a fantastic deal, considering that I get, two of these discontinued models in like the same set. So as you can see, it's Maisto's older style of box. On the bottom it says 124 series, and like the features that the models have. And of course the licensees too. And I really like how the inside of the box is like that mirrored kind of base to it and everything. It's actually really cool. I'm not sure where these were sold, but they made them back in the 1990s. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the side flap here. There's actually some diagrams of some of the Maisto models that were made during that time on the side there, as you can see from this shot here. It was a bit of a challenge to get the side flap open. Like always, that's typical for Maisto. There's a manufacturer date on there. And it's also hard to pull the cardboard thing out too. There's the Voyager there. The Voyager is actually 126 scale, but it's pretty close to 124 scale. So there it is out of the box. It was a bit of a challenge, but I got it out. Next, I will unscrew both the models from the cardboard base. There's a bit of dust on these models too. I guess they were in storage for quite some time. They're held on by these two plastic brackets down there with the two screws. All right, after a challenging time, I finally got the models off their bases, or off their plastic screw stands, I should say. Next, I got to take off these shipping straps. All right, got the straps off the Prowler. Really, really cool model. It actually features steering, as you saw there. Of course, you have the opening doors and the opening hood. All right, next I will take off the strap on the Voyager van. You do actually get an opening lift gate in the back there. I was really excited to find this van, really, because it's such a hard to find model now, and this came with that Prowler. So I thought that's like a perfect pair, these two on Plymouths. So very cool finds. And the sliding doors are kind of stiff, but they were never opened before, so I thought I almost broke that one there. All right, here's both our models. Looking forward to doing a review of them. All right, we'll take a look first at the Plymouth Voyager, or a Grand Voyager, actually. Maisto calls it a Voyager, but it's actually the Grand Voyager because this is the long wheelbase version with both sliding doors on both sides. This is a really interesting model overall. It actually does have the working sliding doors on it. They're a bit stiff, which is nice to see. It means they were never opened before I got this. Let's open those up. And then you also get an opening lift gate back here too. Very cool. In terms of overall detailing, Maisto, I think, did a good job with the overall front end look here. This grille is actually a perforated piece and has the Plymouth badge in the center. It is just a sticker, but at least it is like a separate piece, I guess. The lower bumper also has some actual grills down there. And the headlights are well done overall. Maybe a bit overkill with the turn signals. I think they should be a little bit more narrow. But the lenses themselves look great. This one's just a bit loose, and there is actually a small peg in each one, but they pretty much nail the shape and like the overall look of them. And the paint quality on this model overall, is very good, except you can tell that these doors are in fact plastic. If you look at it in direct light, this looks like it was like a different shade of purple than the rest of the car, or actually not purple, it's more like a dark blue. And this actually did come on the Grand Voyager. I'm not sure what the paint color was called, but it was optional on there. On the side, you do actually get the Plymouth badging on either door. And they do a nice job with the wheels too. This model actually does have a steering, and you do get these Goodyear tires. And these same wheels are on their Dodge Caravan. I don't know if the Voyager came with this particular rim. I know that these did come on the Caravan. I don't know about the Voyager, but either way, I think they look good paired up with this color and everything. And the mirrors are actually very solid. They're kind of just gray plastic like the real car. And Maisto actually does paint the door handles and this trim as like kind of like a matte gray. Of course, on the real car, they would all be separate plastic pieces, but on here, they just kind of paint them on. But they do look pretty convincing, I should say. Taillights are well done overall. They're just one single red piece. I don't know if there should be like a turn signal in there somewhere, but they do a good job. And then you will see that, just getting this door closed back here. There's actually a Plymouth inscription along with the Grand Voyager SE down there. This is the SE trim. I think it's one of like the upper end trims for this particular car. And then you get a full plastic bumper back here. As you saw, you already saw the opening features. You get the opening lift gate and the sliding doors. And you actually have side windows on everything. I guess it would have been nice if they had maybe made the hood open and also maybe like the front doors open or something. But I mean, the sliding doors enough, I think, are like a really, really cool feature. So even if they just have the sliding doors, I think this model would be worth, getting. But in terms of interior detail, they do a good job with the overall like texture of the seats, but they do have kind of a generic shape in the center here. Although something cool they did is that they actually make the middle seat smaller than the rear seat. That's because if you're getting in the van to get into the very back seat, you actually have room to like go between the side wall and this middle seat here. But like the texture feels good. I think it's kind of like I think the real car has like a fabric texture to it. The front seats are actually, I think, better done. They're kind of hard to see through this like kind of shiny glass window here. But Maisto, I think, does a better job shaping the front seats than they do the rear seats. But they are the correct size and everything. It's just the shaping. They kind of like make it a little bit, I guess, generic to save on costs. And there's no like interior paneling on these sliding doors. It would be nice if they maybe put like a gray piece, at least maybe paint the inside gray to match the interior, or else you can really tell that it's just a thin like plastic door. There actually is some dashboard detailing. It's just very hard to see. You can kind of see it a tiny bit between this window and this B pillar here. But there are some buttons. They're just not necessarily like colored in or anything. You do actually get a gauge cluster behind the steering wheel, and the steering wheel actually does have a Plymouth badge on it. Again, it's hard to kind of focus in there because of like the side windows. But overall, this is a really cool model, and this is hard to find. I was actually really lucky to find this and that Prowler like in that 2-car set. But yeah, we'll move on next to the Prowler. Speaking of the Prowler, let me just grab that. All right, we'll take a look next at the Prowler. Another very well detailed model. If we take a look at the front here, you'll see that Maisto did a good job with the lights. There is a peg in each one, but at least they've actually nailed the overall shape and everything. The grille is a separate piece, but it is all purple. I wish they maybe had painted like the inside slats black, so it looks like it's like a perforated grille. The bumpers are actually well done, and they're very sturdy too. The real Prowler actually did have these light gray bumpers. You actually do get full steering too. In this particular car, it's really cool to kind of see the steering work, and you can even like pose the car like that. Very cool. If we take a look at the center, there is a Plymouth badge. It's actually just a sticker, but most of these models came with, these stickers anyway. The overall paint quality, I would say, is actually very well done. Maisto really does nail the purple that this car came in. Kind of has like a metallic color to it as well. The mirrors are actually metal and are attached to the doors, like they're infused into the doors, I guess you can say. And the wheels look good too. They have that nice 5-spoke look to them. They have actually Goodyear tires, just like the Voyager does back there. and they actually roll nicely too. The windshield is plastic and it's kind of flimsy, so just be careful with that. You don't want to lift up the car by it. Back here, the taillights are just painted on, but most of these models of this scale have that feature anyway, so that's not a big deal. The bumpers look good back here too. Cheap looking exhaust pipes, but they're kind of hidden by the bumpers anyway, so that's not like a big deal or anything. Opening features, you have an opening hood and the opening doors. Nicely detailed engine in here. There's actually some like labeling, the 3.5 liter V6. It is just, I think it's made up of a couple plastic pieces, but it's an overall good job. Go ahead and close that up. All right, in terms of the interior detailing, I think the seats are very well done. They even fold a little bit too, which I think is cool. All like the wrinkles and stuff are in there, just very, very well detailed. And on the center stack, you actually do get some well detailed buttons and everything. They're actually three-dimensional looking too, which is very cool. They're not really colored in, but at least they're all like there and they're kind of like pronounced with like their three-dimensional looking plastic. And this center gauge cluster here looks awesome with that purple. And each gauge is actually a separate sticker, which is very cool to see. And on the steering wheel, you do have the Prowler badge, which looks very cool. Nicely detailed on door panels too, with like a nice texture. So if you can find this set of a Plymouth, I would say definitely get it just for something like unique to add to your collection. You can find these two models like individually packed, but they don't really pop up too often. When they do, they can go for expensive prices sometimes, especially the Grand Voyager back there. But if you can find these for a good price, I would say definitely get them. Thanks for watching.